So we put our tomato just on here, and only a smidgen, because as soon as you're going to add the tomato to the filo, what will happen is the juices obviously are going to start to soften the filo pastry. So you need to be quite quick with this, okay? That's going to just go on like so. You're going to put them straight on there. And it doesn't matter if the tomato, the pulp is still quite whole, as long as it starts to break down slightly. Okay. Put that there. And then what we do, take the mackerel fillets that you've got here. We've taken all the pin bones out and we've just got these beautiful fillets. We're going to slice them very thinly on an angle.
Is it quite easy to take the pin bones out?
Of a mackerel, no, I don't think it is. There's two ways, schools of thought. I've seen young cooks literally with a pair of tweezers try and pull each one out. Simplest way is to cut down either side of the bones and pull the whole thing out. And if you know what you're doing, that's what you do.
Why do you bother to take the bones out?
I think with the mackerel there's quite a few. Something like sardines, I wouldn't bother. I just literally can eat them whole, the anchovies. Yeah. But I think with the mackerel there's quite a few. So you can see there we're just putting these beautiful thin layers of mackerel. Because what we're going to do is put them under the grill. So we want them quite thin, because otherwise it's not going to cook before we start to crisp too much the filo pastry.
This is a really economical dish, isn't it? Because it makes a little fish go quite a long way.
Oh no, I mean this you could easily, and you can have it as a main course, you can have it as a little starter, it's entirely your sort of, however your preference. I mean we used to actually put it on our, it sounds like I'm so tight now, we used to put it on our lunch menu at the restaurant. Damn, why did I say that? But it is economical and it's also very underrated, and mackerel when it's cooked well, it's cooked amazing. A little touch of salt just on top of the mackerel. And then we're literally going to flash it under the grill until, and you just want it cooked, you really, just a really light glaze, okay? So that goes under the grill. For probably, you'll cook it now for about 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Yeah, when you're purchasing mackerel, what should you look out for a good specimen?
It's like when you purchase any fish, you've got to look for firm flesh. You should be able to prod the fish and it should really have resistance. The eyes should be very bright and the gills should be, very alive. It just looks fresh. I can spot, a sort of old fish, and don't be, fooled by all the ice and suddenly it's, it's semi-frozen in a way, so it's got to be fresh. And, use a very good local fishmonger.
But you've also got to be quite brave to put up with your fishmonger, because a lot of fishmongers don't like you to go around prodding their fish. Very much.
I know. I mean, I remember as a child I used to go, not for fish, but I used to go and get vegetables for my grandmother, and if they weren't good enough, she'd send me back. And as a 10-year-old, it was just mortifying. So I'd re-buy them. I never had any pocket money. I was constantly poor till I learnt about what produce is. I actually do know people have been banned from various supermarkets in my family because they prod the vegetables too much. So just to add a little bit of colour at the end, put a little bit of basil like so, just some tared basil. And this, in some respects, it's not. Personally, I think it's a delicious dish, but sometimes you look presentation-wise, and then we're going to just. It's like a little mackerel pizza, in some respects, a little piece like that.